I, 19F, might risk having my dad's 45M. I think family cut me off because I don't want to help him. What would you do?
Would you risk being completely cut off by your entire family just to avoid helping the father who abandoned you? I am a 19-year-old woman, and I might be about to lose my father's entire side of the family because I refuse to help him. To give you some context, my father left my mother and me when I was around 3 years old. He has been emotionally distant for as long as I can remember. He married another woman and consistently chose her over me. He never paid a lick of child support, and he was always unkind to me when I was a child. When he had 2 more children with his wife, it was like I suddenly ceased to exist. He never congratulated me on my acceptance to college or my high school graduation. The only time he reached out was on my 18th birthday, talking about reconciling and starting over, even though he was texting me from an immigration lawyer's office. I really did try, but I was only deluding myself into thinking we could have a fresh start, so I eventually chose to ghost him instead. Now here is where things get ugly. He and his wife got into a physical altercation. Allegedly, he provoked it, and he called the police on her. Now they are both at risk of deportation because of the legal proceedings, and this is where I come in. He messaged me politely, asking for my birth certificate. He claimed he wanted to keep his documents in order, specifically to have proof that he has been in the United States for 20 years. I did some research and discovered that my birth certificate would be useless for that purpose anyway. I said no.
I told him I was sorry for his situation, but I would not provide the document because I didn't want to be involved in his court case. His response was long, but here's the gist of what he said. He claimed he wasn't asking me to get involved in the court case itself, just that he needed proof of his long-term residency in case he was arrested. He added that this had nothing to do with his wife, and that he couldn't care less what happened to her, which was a huge red flag. He then told me that when I turned 21, I could apply for residency by sponsoring him, and that would be the only time I would need to get involved by signing paperwork. He said he understood we were currently no contact, but he asked me to think about my younger brother and sister. He claimed that if their mother were deported and he were at risk, they would end up in foster care until he could get them back to his home country. He said that even though he made mistakes with me, he didn't want to damage their lives by forcing them to grow up in a country that isn't theirs. He told me not to think of him, but to think of 2 defenseless children. His side of the family treats him like royalty. They refuse to acknowledge that he was never a father to me and insist he is an honest man. My grandmother was always nice to me when I was a child, likely because I loved him so much back then and hadn't yet developed my own personality. Now that I am older, I can tell she carries resentment that I cut contact with him after he tried to reconcile. She once told me while she was drinking, if you ever choose to change your name, you can go right ahead if you don't want to be a part of this family anymore. I haven't looked at her the same way since. I honestly don't know if she sees me as her granddaughter or just as her son's daughter. I spoke to my mom about this, and she told me it is a huge responsibility to ask of you when he has only ever treated you as a piece of paper. I think she means that I am only convenient to him when it comes to legal matters. It is truly incredible to me that he is so unaware of the sadness he made me carry when I was too young to even name it. I don't have many people to talk to about this, but I am left wondering if getting cut off by this family is really a price worth paying.